Welcome to Tom Strong Reviews. Here we have R2-D2, the app-enabled droid by Sphero. In this video I will show you all the details and features from out-of-the-box initial setup through to all the fun functions and motions that this clever droid is capable of. I'm going to do a quick box spin, but first point out that the blue ink is reflective. If I angle this into the light, there we go, you can really catch this now.
Heading in this direction. What are we going to do? We'll be sent to the spice mines of Kessel or smashed into who knows what. Wait a minute, where are you going?
The box has a slide-off sleeve, so I'm going to quickly lay down my R2-D2 box as I slide the outer sleeve from the hard inner storage box sleeve. Nice subtle Star Wars lettering there, but the rest of the box is pretty plain apart from the very, very base, which just gives you some very simple information. Now on the sides here there's actually some tape. Now I've left a little bit just because I'm going to show you how easy it is to peel, but you need to cut and then remove the tape, and I'll show you why. Let's just quickly remove it a little bit. So if you're very careful when you peel, you don't mark the box at all, and that's important, but you need to do the tape removal so that you can actually hold onto the box as you lift off the lid. I'm going to just quickly block the camera temporarily because the reveal is, of course, R2 inside his lovely box. So R2, absolutely fantastic. It's a great scale item. Lifts out quite simply. I'm going to just pop him down very quickly down there beside you. You can see here there's a tag. So if you actually pull this gently, you release and can remove the bottom half of the padding that R2 sits in. The very bottom of this is then hollow. There is actually a small legal guide which is all full of rules and regulations regarding the use of the device in various countries. But in the very bottom here, just below where R2-D2's feet would be, is a very nice copper braided, bronzy copper charging cable, which is absolutely fantastic and lovely, and matches the wires on the bottom of R2-D2's feet. So we'll come to that when you look at closer. So all there is inside the box.
I'm a member of the Imperial Senate on a diplomatic mission to Alderaan.
You are part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Take it away!
There's a small twist tie that holds the cable bundle together nicely. It's a decent length, it's just about 1 metre. Obviously one end's USB, so I'm going to plug that into my iPhone or iPad charger. I can plug that in a minute. And the back and the bottom of R2-D2, if you look down here, one of his ports is actually a charging port. As you can see, it's angled and shaped, so you can't get it in the wrong way around. I'm just going to slot that in the back. I'm going to pop him over to the side. I'm going to plug him in, and let's see what R2 thinks of having some power to juice himself up. Now already I can see lights on R2 as he slowly wakes up. Now he needs to charge. The box says it takes about 60 minutes to charge. So whilst that's happening, what I'm going to do is go onto the Apple App Store because I've got an iPad here, and I'm going to search for the Sphero app. Not downloaded it at all, so this is all exactly how you'll see the very first time. Now Sphero, all their apps are by their parent company Orbotix Inc. The new one, the Star Wars App-enabled Droid with picture of R2-D2 and BB-8 sneaking to the right. You just click on the Get to install. Taking a quick look at the back of R2-D2 whilst he's charging, you can actually see down by the cable there's a little red light on the port itself. I'm going to just turn him around again and bring the braided cable close to the front where his feet are, because I think that's really neat what they've done. They've really colour coded the braided cable with R2-D2's front feet, which I think is really nice. Now, as R2's charging, I've downloaded the app now, so I'm going to bring in my collection of apps. Now, I've got all my apps in my Orbotix apps folder. I've got the new one, and we're going to load that for the very first time. And let's just see what happens under R2-D2 as it wakes up. Of course, you've got to make sure your app has access to things like your microphone, and Bluetooth must be enabled. And here we have it quickly loading. There might well be a firmware update. It wants to know my age. Now, it wants to know your email. Enter my Tom Strong email address. And we're off. Okay, we also want to bit of connect to R2-D2. There's also an image here for the force band. We'll come to that in another video. Now, it's very, very close to R2-D2, and I'm hoping that he's charged enough now to be able to find our droid. Now, I have actually got a BB-8 hiding off scene, so I better just show the fact that I have actually got a BB-8. So I'm deliberately trying to see if I can confuse things. But what I want to do is actually highlight R2-D2, my new Sphero droid. And it's good that it's been able to let me select which droid I want. Now, not surprisingly, it's doing an update. It's obviously sending me an email straight away to let me know that hello and thank you. Now, it's going to take a little while, so I'm not going to leave you watching a percentage counter, but as you can see, it's got to get to 100%. Of course, it's recommending you do exactly what I'm recommending you do, which is to charge your droid. So I'm going to again stick connected to my R2-D2. And R2's woken up. Hello, R2. The very first one you come into is always the drive or move app. Of course, you've got to make sure that R2's orientation is facing away on this screen from your device, from your point of orientation, because that's where it's going to drive forwards from in relation to where you set it. So I'm going to just turn him around again. So he's in the right orientation, lock him in, and now of course I know when I'm driving to the right, he'll go to the right. If I drive him to the left, R2 will go left, and he'll even come towards us again. So let's just drive him back. I've got him on quite slow speed because I find that much better control for things like on the table where I've got him, but on the floor, let him and his caterpillar tracks go full pelt, no problem at all. Facing away, I can now turn him around or make him drive forwards, drive backwards, turn on the spot, etc., and he will do exactly what I want in relation to what I think is forward, backwards, right, left, and that's all the more fun for accurate control of your R2 unit. And of course, anytime whilst I'm driving, I have to bring another hand into this, I can, whilst driving away, have him facing us, keeping an eye on the camera. So you know, you can't quite get the head to do a 360, so he goes all the way around. You can see by the spot there. Let's bring him a little bit closer again. R2, face the camera. There we go, thank you. So you can't quite do a 360, so there is full rotation one way and full rotation the other way, but it does mean that whilst driving around you can have him look around and think and whistle and beep at what you want him to be looking at. So you can have him come up to something and remark whether he's happy or not happy, or scared or nervous, or generally frightened even. R2's not frightened, he's a very brave droid. Okay. Okay, I've got R2 nice and close for a few reasons. First of all, I'm going to just show you that I've actually got my iPad on mute, so no sound is coming out of my iPad, and yet you can hear R2 making noises, and that's because it's got a speaker inside. So unlike BB9 from 2015, where all the sounds had to come from your smart device, R2-D2 has got an internal speaker. Now, a few things I want to do whilst we're close up, but first I want to start with his feet. So as you can see, they're actually tracks, like a little mini tank. It's got little cogs in here, and a lovely little rubbery belt. I'm just going to open up his third leg. Now he's also making them run. Now this third foot, it's rather clever. It's very, very shaped and smooth. It's particularly smooth. It's like a very hard, but very glidestone type nylon. So it's not like a normal plastic where it's got a little bit of, you can feel it, a little bit of texture. This is particularly smooth, and so it actually kind of skis along the floor or the surface that it's on. So let's just have that come out again. So as you can imagine, when he's doing his spinning, it doesn't matter what orientation it's in because it's totally smooth. As you can see, R2-D2 is absolutely fine on short pile carpet and rugs. Absolutely no problems at all. That front nylon foot ski of his works really well, and those back tracks are able to keep him moving. Now we can even transfer short distances. He's not a great one for height change, so I can actually drive him off onto some wood, a wooden floor now. And of course he's absolutely fine on wood and smooth surfaces like the vinyl covering on my table. And he's absolutely fantastic at just moving around. However, if I wanted to then bring him back up onto the rug, he gets stuck. Poor old R2, he gets a little bit stuck. He can try, and you can often get his front foot up, but as you can see, he's not going to make that, is he? R2, sand and level changes are not your strength. R2-D2 is a character in his own right, so even when I'm not interacting with the app at all, he does various things. As you can see, he's impatient, he's twiddling on his feet, he's looking around. He's generally inquisitive, cheeky and nosy as droids go. Yes, you are too. However, there are 9 special actions that you can do in bringing R2-D2's character to life. So not only can you, of course, drive him around, bring him a little bit further forwards, towards the camera. Come on, R2, nice and slow. Hello, no need to be too cautious. Yes, yes, yes. Now I'm going to do them all, but I'm going to do it in all kinds of different orders, and there's a reason for that, because some need more space than others. So some I can do really close to camera, like this one. I can also do this one very close to camera. Lovely chirpy yep. Here's the unhappy. Oh, I'm sad, sorry as well. And yes, yes, quite rude in fact, that one. You laugh, you laugh. Some of the other ones need a little bit more room, so I'm going to just drive them a little bit further away. Bring them about halfway to do the spin on the spot. Are ready, R2? Whee! Spinning on the spot, thank you very much. Are you going to come and face me again? You can't just put your feet down over there. Face the camera, thank you. Okay, and now some of the other ones need a little bit more room. Some of them are actually going to run off the table. So I'm going to do a couple of those now. Here's a really cute one, I think, from Tatooine, where R2 slowly creeps along. I'm going to have to do my iPad, maybe, maybe not. Yes, no, and then always turns right and goes for a little distance before stopping and coming to a rest. So that's actually a set piece, so it's obviously retracted its third middle leg. I'm going to just quickly drive R2 back again. Let's go to the right again, R2. I'll say quick, I've limited his speed to make it a little bit easier for me to control him on the table. Okay, so this one, however, and I've got him aiming at me deliberately, and I'm going to have to catch him. This one is R2 panicking. And the last one, I'm going to actually do quite close, but not too close, because he sometimes slides a little bit on this one. It's an interesting one. They've actually invented a mode where R2-D2 explodes. Okay, not actually explodes, but yes, he actually caused himself to fall over. No strings or wires attached here. I have to upright him. He can't do that himself. So it's a great finishing piece, which is why I did him near the end. Okay, there's two more special icons on the screen at the bottom here. One makes him turn 180 degrees around. If you take your finger off, he then comes back again. And touching it a little bit, as you can see, and his orientation facing is not bad. The other one makes him charge forward about 1 meter. And then he stops. Maybe less than a meter, maybe 0.6 of a meter. But again, he's then very quickly able to go again. BB-8, whilst he takes a little while moving off from stationary, once he's moving, he's absolutely fine. So BB-8's pretty good, and I'm imagining BB9E is going to be just as good on carpet. Now I've got them on pretty slow settings. That's really just so I can keep them in the camera shot, and I can show you what's going on. So I'm going to park BB-8 here. Face the camera, please. Thank you. I'm now going to switch to R2-D2. Wakes up, 3 legs down. Got to do my orientation. Let's just get him facing away from me. And we're locked in. Now I'm going to turn him round. Now this carpet's got a few different textures, so that light yellow band he's on isn't that bad. R2, I didn't suggest you put your 3rd foot down. Come towards me. No, can you go away from me? Trying to drive R2 is not fun. So you can hear his poor little motors running, and all I'm trying to do is to pull him towards me. So I can get him to spin a little bit on the spot. But as you can see, he's quickly driving off camera. He's really struggling. Just quickly going through the app selection options. You've got a quick little button that allows you to compress and shrink the mode option selector and leave it out. It's up to you. It doesn't seem to get in the way, so I leave it out most of the time. The very first one you come into is always the drive or move app, which we've gone through. You've then next got the, let's call it the patrol, which is the autonomous action where the actual smart device and the app will control your droid. You've then got the draw or program mode, where you get to select where R2-D2 or BB-8 or BB9E will drive to. You've then got the augmented reality app, which allows you to drive in a kind of semi-virtual reality mode where you're both seeing through the eye of your droid on the screen, driving through various ships. R2-D2's got the Millennium Falcon, BB-8's got the Radius, and BB9E's the Supremacy. Each droid's got its own ship. You can't actually sneak one onto the other one. I've tried. You've then got the Watch With Me feature, and at the moment there's only a few of the movies done. They're planning to do them all, but you've got the first New Hope. I'm an old guy, so when I say the first one, it's the first to me from the 70s, Star Wars A New Hope, but they've also already got Star Wars Rogue One and The Force Awakens. They're planning on doing all these movies, so at the moment they're a little bit greyed out. The bright ones are the ones you can select, and that's quite fun. The Watch With Me app actually lets you have more than one droid connected at the same time with the Watch With Me, and they can react. Because I've got 2 droids, we'll have a go at both of those going through, because I'm the old fogey here, A New Hope.
Hey, we don't serve their kind here.
What?
Your droids, they'll have to wait outside. We don't want them here.
How rude! BB-8, come back. And last but not least, the settings cog that allows you to change all the various audio type things, your control, drive speeds, heading adjusts, and all the support ideas, options. The info button just lets you know what I've just told you, just quickly lets you know what's on screen. And the top right lets you select your droid. And of course I've only got, or in fact not just droid, your device. So if you've got a force band, it'll also come on this list. So it'll show the R2-D2, the BB-8, you've got room there for BB9E and force band. And that's all of the options. You've got every right to be alarming here, R2. So I'm now going to show people very briefly your automatic exploration mode. Now, we've got something very similar to this on BB-8 where it can show you information about its internal temperature, distance travelled, and what it's up to. I'm going to just press play, but I'm going to have to catch him, no doubt, because R2-D2 charges off, and I know I've just picked him up and put him back in, and he's pushing my iPad out of the way, and he's zooming off the table. But my arms are here, and I'm going to try to catch him so he doesn't do any permanent mischief to himself. So I am cheating, but there are barriers around the table, mostly my arms. The back there are some bottles and wooden barriers and batons. I've got a baton to my right here. There we go. He's trying to push his way through. Now, as you can notice though, even when R2 hits a hard object, he's not that good at turning around. So I don't know whether it's because his sensor on his front foot isn't as good as I'd hope. But as you can see there, he's battling against the sensor he's battling against my hard poster roll cardboard tube there. And although he's pondering and looking and whistling and whining and scanning, they haven't quite got this right. So this is day of release, this is week of release. So this R2-D2 and this new droid have only been out for a few days, and it's the first version of the software and the firmware. But as you can see, and I've not paused R2, he's still ticking away time, he's still meant to be doing something, he's meant to be exploring, but he just doesn't seem to be so good. Okay, he's charging off to the corner. Now, when's he going to reverse and turn around? When's he going to do that 360? My goodness, did you hear me? R2, can you hear me? Come over here if you can. R2, come. No, yeah, didn't think so. Wishful thinking. So he's already got himself stuck in a corner, and it'd be interesting to see how long it takes for him to come out of that corner, because his exploring mode is meant to be able to wander around, get between your furniture, navigate under your sofa, come out, go around a dining room, go between dining room legs. And I find BB-8 does it really well, and I've done a video where I've actually had BB-8 in autonomous mode in a maze track find an R2-D2, just like he did in the movies. And BB-8 works really well. Now, that was actually on week of release as well, so in September 2015, but I don't think R2-D2's got the same degree of sensor feedback when he meets resistance, because he doesn't seem to think there's a problem pushing into things. You're a bit of a bully, R2. Oh, now he's at least got out the corner, but as you can see, still quite stuck. So it's not the best feature at the moment. In a big open room, you might find he's a whale of time bashing around the place. But I hope your skirting boards are in good, sturdy state. What we're going to now do is the R2 droid draw map. And this is really quite fun, because R2-D2 is particularly accurate because it's got track feet. You can draw. Now the scale is bewildering, so what I'm going to do is a very short line, and you'll find that R2 appears in here and tries to follow it. So I'm going to just draw another one, and you quickly get to see the scale. So as you can see, a very short line was most of my table mat. Now you can zoom in, so I'm going to zoom in a bit. I'm actually now going to get R2 to go to the right and do a little curve, and see how close he ends up back where he began. Whoa, I'm having to move my iPad around a bit to avoid R2 hitting me. But as you can see, not too bad. So he's actually very good at following programs, and you can get him to do some really fancy shapes. Now he does try to follow the commands strictly, so I'm hoping I don't draw him off the table. But he does show you where he's got to in his little adventure. And you can do straight lines or loops. He's really good at the loops. Oh, a little bit far to the right there. But great fun. Thank you, R2. So this is really great fun. And because you've got quite a lot of room to play in, if I zoom out, oh no, I've got to catch him. He's going to drive for about a mile. So this is a mistake. Bit more space for BB-8. I'm again going to zoom right in, because I haven't got that much room. Outside you've got plenty of room to use the large grid. I'm going to draw something relatively straightforward in relation to where BB-8 is in at the moment. Let's just do a couple of squares, a diagonal, back in itself, and some circles to end. Pretty good, BB-8. Okay, let's do another one. I think we're going to use the space over to the right there. So I'm going to draw a new one. Oops. Do you want me to restart? There we go, BB-8. Over there, back again to the right. I'm going to do some snaking rights and lefts, and then again some circles in the middle. Off you go. Now this programming drawing app I think is really fantastic. Saying that wasn't available with the original BB-8 when it launched. And although BB-8's decided to head off to my tumble dryer, it's actually really good. What's now? So let's pop into the AR app. I can only with R2 select the Millennium Falcon. If I try and select the Radius, it then talks about augmented reality mode. You need the trainer for this mode. So I'll say, okay, I haven't got one. Does R2 need one? It's going to scan for droids because it's now really looking for BB-8. Now I happen to have a BB-8, who, by the way, because these two guys got on so well, has decided to accommodate, or let's say acquire R2's charging cable. And even if I say no, I want R2-D2 to do this, it just won't let me do it. Same goes for the BB9E Supremacy ship. So you need to have the right model droid for the augmented reality experience. As you can see, I've got the orientation of R2 correct. I'm now going to go to the top along the slide bar and make sure I can select the AR augmented reality. We're in R2-D2 mode, so of course I'm going to select the Millennium Falcon. Now initially when you first do this, it will download the model and you're meant to have your screen flat. Now I'm going to have to angle my screen a little bit to cheat to show you what this looks like, but basically what you now have is R2-D2 controlled by the facing of your pad or device. And I'm going to tilt my screen up a bit because this is what you're really meant to be seeing. You're meant to be seeing through R2-D2's eyes, and I can now drive in the AR world R2-D2. Hopefully the door opens, and it does. I'm now in the curved corridors. Let's turn a little bit R2. I'm meant to turn my screen, of course. It's a curve, so I can navigate. Now, of course, in your hands it's a lot easier and absolutely brilliant fun. It's a really good interaction because R2 isn't actually facing forwards, but he is looking around with you. So as I turn my screen, R2-D2 will turn and pan with you. So I can now look around, and I've got something to go and have a look at over here. Let's try and drive into it. And that's now loading something because I've met an objective, and I'm now learning some more about the ship and the hyperdrive. Now this is a great little fun add-on. So you actually get to look around in all your ships in 3D. It's a really good introduction of augmented reality with your droids because you get a very good in-app experience of driving around and thumb directions around without having to worry about your droid falling off the tables. Now it does mean I've got to spin and pan my pad around, which is difficult to do from a front-facing camera angle, but as you can see I can absolutely, if you look at the screen there, look at great details of the Millennium Falcon, and I can drive myself around, and great fun. Now I have a BB-8, so let's switch to the droid. R2 can sit and watch patiently. Going to confirm connection to BB-8 now. Radius can now start downloading. It's the first time you load a ship with a new droid, it has to download it onto your smart device. From then on it just checks for updates. Now I haven't got the trainer, so I'm going to use something very simple and similar. I've got here a wooden dish, and I'm going to pop BB-8 safely, I might add, safely inside this wooden dish, because the old charger base that you got with BB-8, there's actually rubber grips and it will not roll around there. So let's just say it's calibrated, and now we have BB-8. Same again, you tip and alter your app, same kind of thumb wheel comes up, but now because he's captured, I can actually run around the ship with BB-8. Now, am I going to be able to find anything? It's a curved corridor. Don't really know. I don't really know where I'm going. Oh, there's a kind of desk that way. Let's go that way. Let's go along. There's a viewing wall. Oh, and there's a interaction point. So let's go to the interaction point there. Now, obviously, my trainer is wood, and you can hear it grating a little bit. Let's go into the. I'm going to turn the volume up in case there's a sound bite. Note it's going to talk to me about Poe's X-Wing fighter. Poe Dameron flies a darker, customised Resistance X-Wing. Fine. Let's have a little look over to the window. But as you can see, I can now control BB-8 without a trainer, as simple as popping in a wooden bowl.
He doesn't like you.
I'm sorry.
I don't like you either. You just watch yourself. We're wanted men. I have
They're
death
bullies.
sentence on
You
12
guys stick together, you'll be
Be
fine.
careful.
You'll be dead.
This little one's not worth the effort. Come, let me get you something.
I know, he just cut his arm off.
Thank goodness they haven't found them. Where could they be? Use the comm link. Oh my! I forgot. I turned it off.
Switching to BB-8. Confirm the connection. And as you can see, the colour and all the icons now change. It's actually now got similar icons. So you've got the same patrol mode, autonomous mode. You've got the same now for the BB-8, BB-9E. You've got the same drawing mode. BB-8 of course can go into the radius. Watch with me on its own or with its buddies. But as you can see, the actions and programs and voices, I'm going to turn up my iPad because as you know, the BB-8 and BB-9E don't have speakers inside, unlike R2-D2. Yes, I know. Hello BB-8, it's been a while since we've seen you. Yes, well what do you think about your new friend R2-D2? Not C-3PO. He's scanning, there he is. He's off. I must say, I think Sphero have done it again. They've managed to get a robotic droid with a really good app, great sounds, great effects, full of character. They really are great at this kind of robotic puppetry. I'm not doing anything. It's just quite happy looking around, listening, talking, judging us. Absolutely any time I want. Yeah, maybe not mid-sentence, but anytime I want, I can get and interact with R2-D2, get him to do what I want him to do. But even when I'm not under direct control, he's absolutely there with you. Full of character. Love him. Well done, Sphero. You've done it again. And I love R2-D2. I love BB-8. And I think I'm going to love BB-9E when I get him. But at the moment, I've got to be honest, these really are the droids I've been looking for. This came out 2016. Fantastic. I was really impressed. Now we've got R2-D2 2017 with BB-9E. Amazing. Well done, Sphero. These are... Oh. Eventually, yes R2, eventually your power cells are going to run low. You get a nice message on the screen through the app saying low battery, plug in R2-D2. And it's time to then plug the little R2 droid in. I've got to catch him. He's going to drive for about a mile. So this is a mistake. R2's not fine, he's a very bright droid. Okay. Okay, R2. Casually drive in from the left-hand side. You're looking at the camera. Look forwards, that's it. Just look around, look casual. Now I want you to topple over now. That's not... What do you mean no? You've not toppled over from the left hand side. You haven't. You're always facing the direction. It's your favourite side, don't give me that. Now topple over. Try not to shoot out of camera frame. Oh, well done. Very good, R2. What do you mean you didn't enjoy that? Yes, we can see you looking. There's nothing to be alarmed about. We're just at the end, that's all. Hopefully you enjoyed my video. Please feel free to like, subscribe and comment. I try to reply to all questions asked on my videos.